Hey everybody, good afternoon. Diana here at the Farm.ily. We are getting ready to make a quick snack for the kids before they get home from school today. And today I'm going to show you just a really quick and easy healthy bar that we make. My kids love it, and it's our most requested snack at school from the teachers and the staff. It is our raspberry bars. So it's really easy. It is about 20 minutes before the kids get home from school, so I just want to get these in the oven really quickly so that they are warm when they come home. So really quick, the way that we do this is I am just going to start out with, I'm doubling my recipe, so I will have the recipe down below, but for right now I'm doubling this because I'm feeding a bunch of hungry kids after school today, and I wouldn't mind if there's a few leftovers to stick in the refrigerator. You're not hungry? No? Okay. So what we're starting out with is 2 cups of flour. So the flour that I'm using today is organic, fresh, ground turkey red wheat. It is a non-GMO flour that has a very low glycemic index, and it is also an heirloom flour that is very easily to tolerate if you have gluten intolerances. So I am gluten intolerant, so this is something that I can eat. And then our daughter, who is married, Grace, she also is gluten intolerant. So I hope to have a few extras that I can pack up. I'm going to visit her this week and say hello to them and see them and help them with their new baby that's on the way. So I'm hoping to have some extra bars that I can cut and bring down to see them. If not, we'll just make an extra batch. So I have 1 cup of flour in that bowl, and I'm just going to add a 2nd cup of flour. You can see that I am not meticulous about measuring this because we're just making a crumb. So that is 2 cups of flour. Okay, hold on a minute, Ella. So there's 2 cups of flour there. You can use any flour, or you can use any gluten-free flour blend that you like. So 2 cups of flour goes in that. And then I'm going to be doing some baking soda. Let me grab my baking soda real quick. Baking soda. So this is just double acting baking soda that we're using here, and we are going to use a 1/2 teaspoon of double acting baking soda. I prefer to use aluminum free baking soda, but again, that is just preference. So there is a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and then we are going to use a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Boy, I am like missing everything this afternoon. I thought I
know where the salt is.
You know where the salt is? Where's the salt?
Where is it?
You know where the salt is? Oh. Is the salt over here on the table?
I don't know what it is.
I found it. I found the salt.
Oh, my foot.
So we're back. So real quick too, everything that we buy in bulk. It's way cheaper this way. And because we do so much baking, it's just easier to buy it in the bulk bags. So like for instance, this is 1 pound of all natural sea salt, and it is $3 for this big bag. So super easy there. So we're gonna add another 1/2 teaspoon of salt to this mix, and then we are just going to mix that up. Go ahead, you can mix it up with your fingers. Our hands are all clean, by the way. We just washed them before we turned on the camera. So, okay, so mix it up the flour. Nope, gentle, gentle, so we don't have flour everywhere. Or we'll have flour. Tap your hands like that. Okay, so we've got that mixed up. So now I'm using oats. These are just old-fashioned gluten-free oats. You can use any kind of oats you buy from the store. So I'm adding 2 heaping cups of oats to this. We buy our oats in 50-pound bags as well. We use a lot of oats in our house. And then we're going to do 1 cup of brown sugar. So this is just brown sugar from Aldi's, and it's just soft, and I'm just gonna pack in 1 cup of brown sugar. And we're gonna, yep, you're gonna mix it up with your fingers. I'm just gonna add a little bit of extra brown sugar into that. And so brown sugar, hold on a minute. So we're just gonna gonna mix this up with our fingers and just kind of blend it all together. Make sure that if there's any hunks of brown sugar in that we just kind of break them up. Do you like helping?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you like eating raspberry bars?
I haven't tried them before.
Yes, you have.
Oh, yeah.
You have had them. I think
When I was a baby?
maybe when you were a baby.
I'm sure
So we're just mixing this up all with our fingers and our hands. And that's it. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna work in some soft butter. I actually put some butter in the microwave and it got too soft. Okay, hang on just a minute. And it got too soft, so what I did is I whipped it up and I stuck it in the freezer for a second. That'll just let it get a little bit harder and didn't ruin my butter. It may have actually gotten too hard, so we will see here if it did. But you want your butter to just be slightly soft. Oh yeah, it did not get too hard. So a little bit around the edges. But you can see, so I melted this and it was really, really liquidy. So I just whipped it with the whisk and I put it back in the freezer for just like maybe 5 minutes and it turned it right back to butter. So if you melt it and it gets too liquidy, you can just stick it into the freezer, get it cold, and it'll whip right back up. I do not like to use margarine at all. And so I will either use butter or I will use coconut. If you have dairy sensitivities, you can always use a milk alternative plant-based butter. We are blessed because we farm and we always have hand-rolled butter on hand. So this is 1 cup of butter and it is soft, and we're gonna add this into our flour. Ella, don't mix it yet, okay?
I won't.
Okay.
I'll just put some.
So we're gonna add our butter
so I can just
into all of our into all of our dry ingredients, and then what we're going to do is I am just going to create a quick crumble. So what we're going to do with that, if you have a pastry blender, I'll show you what mine looks like. I have a pastry blender. It looks like this. If you have one of these, you can use it. I just find that I work faster with my hands, so I only use that to do pie crust and stuff with. So as you can see, Ella is mixing it all up, right?
With my fingers.
With your fingers. Mix it all up, crumble it all together.
Ugh.
It's like
It's so gooey.
so gooey. It's like fun Play-Doh, huh? Rub your hands together. Rub them together. Try to get it all off there. Okay, put them back in the flour. Are you ready to wash your hands? Yes, I think somebody is ready to wash their hands. Okay.
It is so good.
It is so gooey. Okay, so why don't you do this? Why don't you?
That's good.
Yeah. Why don't you go into the bathroom and go wash your hands, and then you can come back and help me. Okay, hold on a minute. Don't touch anything. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, you go to the bathroom and go wash your hands. Okay, so we're just crumbling this all up together. We're gonna make a quick crumble, and then what we're gonna do is we're going to pat this into our cake pan. So a single batch recipe makes an 8 by 8. I doubled this, so I'm going to do this in my big pan. So my pan is actually bigger than your typical 9 by 12. My pan's probably more like a 10 by 14. So it's a little bit bigger. It's better for our size family. So I will post in the comments below our recipe for this, and I will post the 8 by 8 size recipe. So if you want to make the size that I'm making, you will need to double it. But as you can see, this is getting crumbly, and it's just creating a crumb topping type, like a streusel almost, and it is almost ready to go in the pan. So like I've said before, if you follow me along, I used tons of parchment paper, and I lined my pan with parchment. The reason I do that for this recipe is I want to be able to lift the parchment paper right out with the bars to let them cool, because otherwise, as these things cool and the raspberry filling kind of oozes out, they get really sticky and really hard to clean up the mess of your pan, and I hate scraping dishes. So Jeff usually does the dishes with the kids, and it's just easier for them to clean them up if I line everything that I can with parchment paper. So this is all done. I'm gonna kind of just rub my hands together to get off the rest of that. And as you see, I'm standing on my tiptoes because this is I'm short, and again, I'm needy. One of these days, I will have a kitchen that is built for a short girl. So, here's my pan. It's already lined. So what we're gonna do, hang on just a minute. What we're gonna do is we're gonna measure this out. I'm gonna take about 4 cups of this because I wanna leave some for the topping. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that was like 4 heaping cups. Hang on a minute. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna spread this around, and we're going to do just like what Ella's doing there, and we're gonna take the measuring cup. Hang on 1 minute, okay? And then you can show them how we do it. We're gonna take the measuring cup.
This one, I want to do this one.
You can do that. I'm gonna add just a little bit to make the crust here. Okay, show them how we push it. Take the measuring cup and we just kind of push it down, and that makes a nice firm bottom. Can you keep doing it? Okay, I'm gonna use my fingers while she pushes it down with the cup. And all we're doing here is just creating a crust for our bars. Sometimes my kids really like these to have like more crust than,
oh yeah, I have had
like double the crust. So sometimes I'll double the crust recipe, and that way they can have like a thicker crust. But
I'll mush this down.
Today we're just doing a quick snack.
Yeah,
and
it's much easier.
It is much easier to do a quick snack.
Don't forget the dough.
Yep. Okay, hold on.
I need a little more.
A little more.
Okay. That way.
Crust? Okay, crust. All right. So what I'm doing today is because there's a couple of us
we're not doing
who are really trying to like watch our calories and be careful with what we're eating right now.
Oh, Mommy,
okay, nope, we're all done with that. Okay, stop. I'm gonna do half of this in with my sugar-free jam. So here at the farm, we have a sugar-free jam that we carry, and one of the flavors that we carry today, I'm making raspberry bars. So one of the flavors that we carry is a red raspberry sugar-free jam. There's no artificial sweeteners in this, and so it is just strictly red raspberries, a white grape juice concentrate, pectin, vinegar, and water. So we're gonna just take this, and I'm gonna spread this over about.
I'll just dump the whole thing out.
You would just dump the whole thing out?
Yeah, and then just spread it out.
We're not making all of these sugar-free, so I'm just doing a little section of them sugar-free. If you wanted to make this whole dessert sugar-free, you can. You would just need to buy like the sweetener from the store that like you could do Splenda with it, or you could do Swerve or any of those sugar alternatives. But other than stevia, I'm not really a big fan of sugar alternatives. So in today's recipe, we just use the regular brown sugar. So that side there is going to be, yep, there is oats in it. That side there is going to be the sugar-free one. And then we're going to do regular, just the regular one on this side. So over here, nope, you're not going to do this part. Mommy's doing it. So over on this part here, we are just using Smucker's Red Raspberry Preserves. You can use any flavor you want.
That's what you trying to do.
Yeah.
Can I do this?
No, Mommy's going to do it. And when we're doing this, I'm just spreading this. I want to make sure I leave about 1/4 of an inch off the sides, because this will be really,
the boys won't know.
The boys won't know. This will get like really oozy after, I guess oozy's a word. It'll kind of ooze out the sides, and so I just go to like 1/4 of the way, because as it bakes, it will go all the way to the edges. So, like I said, you can use, if you're not a fan of red raspberry, you can do any flavor. You can do, I've done these with strawberry, I've done with blueberry, I've done it with peach. You can use any flavor jam you want. Like I said, red raspberry tends to be the ones around here my kids like the most with bars.
What is
and
this type?
We're just gonna spread this in.
This type?
This is red raspberry. These are red raspberry bars.
No, this.
Red raspberry crumble bars. This is
no,
red.
what is this type?
Huh?
Yeah, what is that type?
Red raspberry jam? Made with red raspberries?
This?
We actually grow wild raspberries here on our farm. We have like acres and acres of black raspberries.
Yeah, and
that
Mom used to have lots and lots of plants.
And so we have
Mommy used to have lots and lots of plants.
Lots of plants.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have these like big tires.
Oh, strawberry plants we have.
Yes.
Big tires with strawberry plants in them.
Yes, we love them.
Yes, and we have strawberries in the summer.
Yes, and they are still.
It's not summer in Missouri right now, is it? What time of year is it in Missouri right now? Is it winter?
Winter.
It's winter because we have snow on the ground in
a little bit.
Missouri today. Yep, most of it's melted, but we still have some snow on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, so
super is about snow.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so we have about 2/3 of this done with sugar, and then we have about 1/3 of it done in our sugar-free jam. So that's all of that, and then we're just going to take the rest of this crumble. We're going to take the rest of this crumble, and what I really like to do with this, hang on 1 minute. This is lemon extract. I love when I'm doing raspberry to add just a tint of lemon to it. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to add just a little bit, if I can open that. We're going to add just a little bit of lemon extract to this crumble, and it will help just hold it together just a little bit more. So I'm probably adding, let's see, that's a 1/2 teaspoon. So 1/2 teaspoon of lemon to the crumble. And then, hang on a minute. Hang on, move your hands. I'm just gonna stir that all together, and it smells so good. It smells so good, doesn't it? Okay, so a little bit of lemon, and oh my goodness, it smells amazing. So a little bit of, hang on, no, I'm Mommy's gonna do this so we can get it in the oven very quickly before the kids get home from school. It is almost time for them to walk in the door. So we are going to just sprinkle this crumble all over the top of this, and then we're gonna stick it in the oven to bake. And this comes out, it's all done. So we just wanna spread those crumbs over the top, and it's okay if some of the jam kind of shows through. It'll make it easy for me because the sugar jam is really dark and my sugar-free jam is really red. And so these go in the oven at 350 for about 35 minutes. So that's it. So we're gonna stick these in the oven.
We're gonna make more.
And in 35 minutes, those will be ready to eat. The kids will be home from school, and we will show you guys what they look like when everyone gets home from school. Right? Okay guys, so these bars are getting ready to come out of the oven, and I'm not kidding you, this is real life here at the farm of what just happened. So I put the raspberry bars into the oven to bake for like 30 minutes. So while I put those in the oven, I'm just kind of cleaning up the kitchen and somebody's banging on the door. So I go to the door to answer it. Jeff left to go pick kids up from school, so he is gone and I'm just home by myself. So I get a knock on the door and I go out, and somebody who was driving by stopped to tell us that one of our calves in our pen that runs along the side of the highway was getting trampled by the other cows. So I kind of panicked because Jeff is not home, and for those of you that know me or get to know me know that I am not exactly the person here who goes outside and runs the farm and does the animals. So I go outside and I look down the field and I see something brown laying in the field. So I call one of the girls who works for us, who has farm experience, to come out and help me. And I called Jeff on the phone and tell him to come home right away, that something's wrong with one of our calves. So I take off running, which is on a 4-lane highway, and I'm in my apron, by the way. This must have been super a sight to see, this little blonde girl in this hot pink shirt and apron running down the side of a 4-lane highway. And I get down there, and the girl who is with me tells me that she thinks something is moving, because while we're walking, you see something blow up in the air. Well, in the meantime, Jeff pulls into that field, into the driveway, and I tell him something is wrong with the calf, and he gets out of the car, out of the big van, and Georgia gets out of the big van, and they start to laugh that it is a bag of feed. So I guess this morning they went out and a bag of feed fell where it was muddy, and it broke open, and these are calves that are down in a separate field getting grain fed because they're getting ready to leave next week to go to a cattle sale. And so the bag of feed broke open and all of these feeder calves are eating the feed, and it made this driver who was driving by the highway think that a calf was getting stomped. So there I am in my white sneakers, and they are full of mud now, so they're in the wash. And Jeff and Georgia are making fun of me because I was panicking, and I got in a whole bunch of exercise in like 30 minutes or less because I walked all the way down there and then walked all the way back up, and there's nothing wrong with our calves. So it is a blessing, there's nothing wrong. I kind of feel a little silly, but in the meantime, some very sweet person driving by was super concerned and just pulled in our driveway to let us know that something was wrong. So it is a blessing to live in a small community where people care and will pull in, but that just about gave me a slight cardiac arrest this afternoon. So you hear in the background, the bars are now done. So 30 minutes later, we have calves that are okay, and we have bars that are coming out of the oven. So I will pull those out real quick and let's take a peek at what the raspberry bars look like, all done and ready. So raspberry bars out of the oven, you can see this is the sugar bars, this is the sugar-free bars. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give these about 5 minutes to cool, and then I'm just gonna take this and I am going to just lift this right out. You can already kind of see actually that when I lift this up, the bars are all baked. So I will just lift this up and then I will cut them, and it'll be super easy. So bars for a snack, once the kids all come traipsing in, they'll be home in just a few minutes with Jeff. So anyways, healthy calf, successful day, bars made, those look good. At least I didn't burn the bars while I was outside. This is a typical day in the life of the farm, and it always happens when I'm home alone. It never ever happens when Jeff is here, because if he was here, he would have known it was a bag of feed. So funny for Dianna that I had to run down the highway and check calves. But anyways, there we have it, healthy calves, raspberry bars. It's a great day. We'll see you guys again soon.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, turn on that notification bell, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram.